She is the one everyone calls when they are falling apart. She is the one who holds the family together. She is the one who prays for everyone else. She is the one who smiles in public, leads in church, excels at work, encourages the broken, lifts the fallen, and speaks life into dead situations. She is the strong one, the dependable one, the unshakable one. But tonight, when the lights go off, when the phone stops ringing, when the last person she helped has gone to sleep, when the house is quiet and the world is not watching, she will pull the covers over her head and she will cry. Not a loud cry, not a dramatic cry, a silent cry. The kind of cry that has no audience, the kind of cry that has no witness, the kind of cry that soaks the pillow but never makes a sound. The kind of cry that she has mastered so well that even the person sleeping next to her will never know. And if you ask her tomorrow, how are you doing? She will smile and say, I'm fine. God is faithful. And she will mean the second part. But the first part, I'm fine, is the greatest lie strong women have learned to tell. I want to talk to her tonight. Not the woman the world sees, not the woman the church celebrates, not the woman social media applauds. I want to talk to the woman behind the closed door, the woman behind the smile, the woman behind the strength, the woman who cries alone at night. And if that woman is you, stay with me, because God sent this message to find you tonight, not tomorrow, tonight, right now, in this very moment, while the tears are still fresh, while the pain is still real, while the silence is still loud. God is speaking to you. There is a weight that strong women carry that nobody sees. It is invisible, it has no shape, it has no color, but it is heavier than anything the body can bear because it is carried by the soul. It is the weight of being needed by everyone but cared for by no one. Let me say that again. It is the weight of being needed by everyone but cared for by no one. She is the mother who feeds everyone but eats last and sometimes doesn't eat at all. She is the wife who holds the home together while her own heart is falling apart. She is the daughter who became the parent because the parent couldn't be one. She is the friend who counsels everyone through their storms while drowning silently in her own. She is the leader who carries the vision, the burden, the responsibility, and the criticism, and goes home to an empty room with no one to debrief with. She is the woman who has heard, "You are so strong," so many times that people have forgotten she is also human. They have confused her strength with invincibility. They have confused her resilience with the absence of pain. They have confused her smile with the absence of tears. And so they keep loading, they keep taking, they keep leaning, they keep expecting. Because she is strong, she can handle it. She always handles it. But what they don't know, what they have never bothered to ask, is what happens when she closes the door at night. What happens is this: the mask comes off, the armor drops, the smile fades, and the woman who held everyone together finally falls apart. Alone, in the dark, with no one to hold her, with no one to tell her it's going to be okay, with no one to pray for her the way she prays for everyone else. Isaiah 53:4 says about Jesus, "Surely he had borne our griefs and carried our sorrows, yet we did esteem him stricken, smitten of God, and afflicted." Jesus carried the weight of the world. He bore the grief of humanity. He carried the sorrow of every broken heart. And yet, the very people he carried did not recognize what he was going through. They thought he was just being punished. They didn't see the sacrifice. They didn't see the pain. They only saw the strength. And that is exactly what happens to strong women. The world sees the strength. The world benefits from the sacrifice, but the world does not see the pain. The world does not see the tears. The world does not see the breaking that happens in private so that she can be whole in public. Nobody is born strong. Strength is not a gift you receive at birth. Strength is forged. It is built. It is constructed in the furnace of pain, disappointment, betrayal, loss, and survival. Let me tell you how she became the strong one. She became strong because she had no choice. When her father left and her mother fell apart, somebody had to hold things together. She was 12, but she became the adult in the room, not because she wanted to, because nobody else would. She became strong because she was broken early. The first time her heart was shattered by a man who promised forever and delivered abandonment, she learned a lesson that would define the rest of her life. If I don't protect myself, nobody will. And from that day, she built walls, not walls of anger, walls of strength, walls that said, I will never be that vulnerable again. She became strong because the church told her to be. Be strong in the Lord, they said. Don't cry, have faith, they said. God didn't bring you this far to leave you, they said. And she believed them. So she dried her tears, put on her armor, and kept moving. Not because the pain was gone, but because she was told that strong women don't break. Godly women don't crumble. Women of faith don't cry. And that is one of the greatest lies the enemy has ever planted in the church. The lie that strength means the absence of tears. The lie that faith means the absence of pain. The lie that being a godly woman means never falling apart. The lie that if you cry, you are weak. If you struggle, you lack faith. If you break, you are not spiritual enough. That is a lie from the pit of hell. And tonight, I am dismantling it. David was a man after God's own heart. And David cried. Psalm 6:6 says, I am weary with my groaning, all the night make I my bed to swim. I water my couch with my tears. David, the giant killer, the warrior king, the worshipper, the psalmist cried so much at night that his bed was swimming in tears. Was David weak? Was David faithless? Was David unspiritual? No, David was human, and he was honest enough to admit it. Jesus himself wept. John 11:35, the shortest verse in the Bible, says Jesus wept. The Son of God, the creator of the universe, the Alpha and the Omega, he wept. Not because he lacked faith, not because he was weak, but because he was fully God and fully human. And the human part of him felt pain, and he did not hide it. So if David could cry and still be called a man after God's heart, and if Jesus could weep and still be the Son of God, then you can cry and still be a strong woman of God. Your tears do not disqualify you. Your tears do not diminish you. Your tears do not define you as weak. Your tears are proof that you are human. And God is not ashamed of your humanity. He created it. Let me get specific, because this is not a general message. This is a targeted word for a specific woman. And I want her to know that God sees exactly what she's going through. She cries because she's tired. Not physically tired, soul tired. The kind of tired that sleep cannot fix. The kind of tired that a vacation cannot cure. The kind of tired that comes from years, sometimes decades of carrying, giving, serving, sacrificing, and pouring out without ever being replenished. She has been running on empty for so long that she has forgotten what full feels like. She has been giving from a deficit for so long that she doesn't even know what overflow looks like. And she's tired. Not tired of life. Tired of carrying life alone. Matthew 11:28 says, come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Jesus did not say, come unto me, all ye that are weak. He said, come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden. He was speaking to the workers, the carriers, the strong ones, the ones who have been laboring and carrying heavy loads. He was saying, I see your strength, but I also see your exhaustion, and I am offering you rest. She cries because she's lonely. Not alone, lonely. There is a difference. She may be surrounded by people. She may have a husband, children, friends, church members, colleagues, but she's lonely because none of them truly know her. None of them have access to the real her. None of them have seen behind the mask. None of them have asked the right questions. And even if they did, she wouldn't know how to answer, because she has been performing strength for so long that she has forgotten how to be vulnerable. Loneliness is not the absence of people. Loneliness is the absence of connection. And many strong women are surrounded by people but deeply disconnected. They are known by everyone but understood by no one. They are celebrated by many but seen by none. Psalm 142:4 says, I looked on my right hand and beheld, but there was no man that would know me. Refuge failed me. No man cared for my soul. David, surrounded by soldiers, servants, and supporters, said, no man cared for my soul. Not my kingdom, not my army, not my reputation, my soul, the deepest part of me, the part that nobody sees. Nobody cared for it. And that is what she cries about at night. Not that nobody is around, but that nobody cares for her soul. She cries because she has been betrayed. The people she trusted the most hurt her the most. The man she gave her heart to broke it. The friend she confided in exposed her. The family she sacrificed for abandoned her. The church she served in judged her. And now she trusts no one. Not because she is bitter, but because she is wounded. and wounded people protect themselves. Psalm 55 to 12:1-4 says, for it was not an enemy that reproached me, then I could have borne it. Neither was it he that hated me that did magnify himself against me, then I would have hid myself from him. But it was thou, a man mine equal, my guide and mine acquaintance. We took sweet counsel together and walked unto the house of God in company. The deepest wounds don't come from enemies. They come from people you walked with, people you prayed with, people you trusted, people you loved. And when those people betray you, the wound goes so deep that it doesn't just hurt your heart, it damages your ability to trust. And without trust, you are forced to carry everything alone. And carrying everything alone is what makes strong women cry at night. She cries because she feels unseen. She sees everyone. She notices when someone is struggling. She remembers birthdays. She checks on people. She sends the encouraging text. She makes the phone call. She shows up. She is present. She's attentive. She's thoughtful. But who sees her? Who notices when she's struggling? Who remembers what she's going through? Who checks on her? Who sends her the encouraging text? Who shows up for her? The answer most nights is nobody. And she doesn't cry because she wants attention. She cries because she wants to be seen. There is a difference. Attention is surface. Being seen is deep. Attention says, I notice you. Being seen says, I know you. I understand you. I see what you carry and I care. Genesis 16:13 says, and she called the name of the Lord that spake unto her, thou God seest me. Hagar, alone in the wilderness, pregnant, abandoned, rejected, running, encountered God. And the first thing she said was not, God save me or God bless me. She said, you are the God who sees me. Because in that moment, being seen was more important than being saved. Being known was more important than being blessed. Being noticed by God was the miracle. And tonight, God is saying to every strong woman who cries alone, I see you. I see the tears you hide. I see the pain you mask. I see the weight you carry. I see the loneliness you endure. I see the betrayal you survived. I see the exhaustion you pushed through. I see you, not the version the world sees, the real you. And I love her. I love her deeply. I love her fiercely. I love her completely. She cries because she's afraid. Not afraid of the dark, not afraid of failure, afraid that she will always have to be this strong, afraid that it will never get easier, afraid that no one will ever come alongside her and say, you don't have to carry this alone anymore. Afraid that the rest of her life will look like the last 10 years, surviving, enduring, managing, coping, but never truly living, never truly resting, never truly being held. She is afraid that vulnerability will be punished, because every time she has been vulnerable in the past, it was used against her. Every time she opened up, she was judged. Every time she showed weakness, she was abandoned. And so she learned that vulnerability is dangerous, and she locked it away. And now she's strong on the outside, but terrified on the inside. 2 Timothy 1:7 says, for God hath not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. God did not give you the spirit of fear, but he also did not give you the spirit of pretending. He gave you power, real power, not performed power. He gave you love, real love, not transactional love. He gave you a sound mind, not a mind that suppresses pain, but a mind that processes it with God. She cries because she misses who she used to be. Before the pain hardened her, before the betrayal made her cautious, before the disappointment made her guarded, before the weight of responsibility stole her joy. She remembers a version of herself that laughed freely, loved openly, trusted easily, and dreamed boldly. And she misses that woman. She mourns that woman because somewhere along the way, that woman was buried under layers of survival. And at night, when the world is quiet, that woman resurfaces and she cries, not for what happened to her, but for what it took from her. Joel 2:25 says, and I will restore to you the years that the locust hath eaten. God is not just going to restore your circumstances. He is going to restore you. The joy that was stolen, the trust that was broken, the innocence that was taken, the freedom that was lost. God is going to restore the woman you were before the world tried to destroy her. She is not dead. She is buried. And God is about to resurrect her. Now I want to shift, because I have described the pain, but I did not come here tonight to leave you in the pain. I came here to deliver a word from God to the woman who cries alone at night. And this is what God is saying: I collect your tears. Psalm 56:8 says, thou tellest my wanderings, put thou my tears into thy bottle. Are they not in thy book? God has a bottle for your tears. Every tear you have cried alone, every tear that no human being witnessed, God caught it, God stored it, God recorded it. Not one tear was wasted. Not one tear was ignored. Not one tear fell to the ground without God noticing. Your tears are not meaningless. They are seeds. Psalm 126:5 says, they that sow in tears shall reap in joy. Every tear you have sown in secret is producing a harvest of joy that is about to manifest in public. The nights of crying are coming to an end. The season of weeping is expiring, and a season of joy, unspeakable, unexplainable, overwhelming joy, is about to break forth in your life. I am your husband. Isaiah 54:5 says, for thy maker is thine husband, the Lord of hosts is his name, and thy redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. The God of the whole earth shall he be called. To every woman who cries alone because no man has stepped up, because no man has covered her, protected her, provided for her, cherished her, God says, I am your husband. Not metaphorically, not poetically, literally. The creator of the universe is committed to you with the devotion of a husband. He will provide for you. He will protect you. He will cherish you. He will never leave you. He will never forsake you. He will never betray you. He will never abandon you. You are not uncovered. You are not unprotected. You are not alone. The God of the whole earth is your husband. And he is not an absent husband. He is not a neglectful husband. He is not an unfaithful husband. He is present. He is attentive. He is faithful. And he is holding you right now even as you cry. Your season is changing. Psalm 32:5 says, weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning. I need you to hear this. The night is almost over. The weeping is almost done. The morning is coming. And with the morning comes joy. Not temporary happiness, not surface level excitement, deep, abiding, supernatural joy that cannot be shaken by circumstances, stolen by people, or destroyed by the enemy. You have been in a long night. Some of you have been in this night for years. But God is saying tonight, the morning is breaking, the sun is rising, the darkness is lifting. And what is coming is so much greater than what you have been through, that you will look back on this season and say it was worth it. Every tear was worth it. Every night was worth it, because it led me here. I am going to send you help. Psalm 121:1-2 says, I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from the Lord, which made heaven and earth. God is not going to leave you carrying this weight alone forever. He is going to send help, human help, divine help, unexpected help. Help that you didn't ask for, help that you didn't expect, help that will show up and say, I see what you carry. Let me carry it with you. It may come in the form of a godly friend who finally sees behind your mask. It may come in the form of a man who loves God enough to love you properly. It may come in the form of a community that doesn't just celebrate your strength but cares for your soul. It may come in the form of a breakthrough that removes the burden entirely, but help is coming. God has already dispatched it. It is on its way, and it will arrive right on time. Stop performing strength. Start receiving mine. 2 Corinthians 12:9 says, and he said unto me, my grace is sufficient for thee, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. God is not asking you to be strong. He is asking you to let him be strong for you. He is not asking you to hold it together. He is asking you to let him hold you. He is not asking you to carry the weight. He is asking you to cast it on him. 1 Peter 5:7 says, casting all your care upon him, for he careth for you. All your care, not some, not the small ones, not the ones you can't handle. All the big ones, the scary ones, the ones you've been carrying for years, the ones you've never told anyone about. Cast them, throw them, release them, give them to God, because he cares for you. Not for your performance, not for your strength, for you. You have been performing strength for people who never asked God to sustain you. Tonight, stop performing, start receiving. Let God be your strength. Let God be your shield. Let God be your refuge. Let God be your rest. You don't have to be strong anymore. Not in your own power. God's strength is available and it is made perfect in your weakness. Which means the moment you admit you are weak is the moment God's strength shows up in full force. I need to speak to someone else now. I need to speak to the people around the strong woman, the husband, the children, the friends, the pastor, the church, the family, because you have a responsibility that you have been neglecting. Stop assuming she is okay just because she says she is. She has been trained to say, I'm fine. She has been conditioned to smile through pain. She has been programmed to perform strength. So when you ask her how she's doing and she says, I'm fine, do not accept that answer. Ask again. Ask deeper. Ask with your eyes, not just your words. Sit with her. Be present. Create a space where she feels safe enough to take off the mask. Stop only going to her when you need something. She is not a resource. She is not a service provider. She is not a vending machine where you insert your problems and she dispenses solutions. She is a human being with needs, with desires, with pain, with dreams. Stop going to her only when you need prayer, advice, money, support, or encouragement. Go to her sometimes with nothing to take and everything to give. Go to her and say, I'm not here because I need something. I'm here because I know you do. Stop celebrating her strength and ignoring her pain. Every time you say you are so strong without asking, but are you okay? You are reinforcing the prison she lives in. You are telling her that her value is in her strength, that her worth is in her performance, that she is loved for what she does, not for who she is. And that is a devastating message. Celebrate her humanity. Acknowledge her pain. Honor her tears. Tell her it is okay to not be okay. Tell her it is okay to fall apart. Tell her that you will still be there when she does. Tell her that your love for her is not contingent on her strength. That you love the weak version of her just as much as the strong version. Pray for her, not just with her. She is always the one praying for others. She is always the one interceding. She is always the one standing in the gap. But who stands in the gap for her? Who intercedes for her? Who prays for her when she is too tired to pray for herself? James 5:16 says, pray one for another that ye may be healed. She needs healing. And part of that healing will come through the prayers of people who love her enough to pray for her, not just benefit from her prayers. I want to close with this, because I don't want you to leave this message thinking that crying is the end. It is not. Crying is the beginning. Tears are not a sign of defeat. Tears are a sign of release. And what comes after the release is the most powerful version of you that has ever existed. There is a strength that comes after the tears that is different from the strength that came before. The strength before the tears was human strength. It was survival strength. It was performance strength. It was I have no choice strength. But the strength that comes after the tears, after you have been honest with God, after you have released the weight, after you have allowed yourself to be vulnerable, that strength is divine. It is God's strength flowing through a surrendered vessel, and it is unstoppable. Isaiah 40:31 says, but they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary, and they shall walk and not faint. Renewed strength, not recycled strength, not reused strength, new strength, fresh strength, divine strength. The kind of strength that doesn't come from gritting your teeth and pushing through. The kind of strength that comes from waiting on God, from resting in God, from surrendering to God. You have been running on old strength, borrowed strength, depleted strength, and that is why you cry at night, because the tank is empty. But God is offering you new strength tonight. Strength that doesn't run out, strength that doesn't deplete, strength that is renewed every morning, strength that comes not from your efforts but from his grace. Nehemiah 8:10 says, the joy of the Lord is your strength. Not the performance of strength is your strength. Not the appearance of strength is your strength. The joy of the Lord. When God restores your joy, real joy, deep joy, supernatural joy, that joy becomes your strength. And it is a strength that no circumstance can drain, no person can steal, and no night can darken. Father, I bring before you tonight every strong woman who is crying alone. You know her name, you know her address, you know her pain, you know her tears, you know what she carries, you know what she hides, you know what she has survived, and you know what she's going through right now in this very moment. Lord, I ask you to meet her tonight. Not tomorrow, tonight. Meet her in the silence, meet her in the darkness, meet her in the tears. Let her feel your presence in a way she has never felt it before. Let her know that she's not alone, that she has never been alone, that you have been with her through every night, every tear, every silent cry. Father, I pray that you would lift the weight she has been carrying, the weight of responsibility, the weight of expectation, the weight of performance, the weight of other people's needs. Take it off her shoulders tonight. Let her breathe. Let her rest. Let her exhale. She has been holding her breath for years. Let her finally breathe. Lord, heal her heart. Heal the wounds of betrayal. Heal the scars of abandonment. Heal the bruises of disappointment. Heal the fractures of loneliness. Put her heart back together. Not the way it was before, better. Stronger, whole, complete, healed. Father, send her help. Send her people who will see her, really see her. Send her people who will care for her soul, not just benefit from her strength. Send her a community that will hold her up when she's too tired to stand. Send her friendships that are not transactional but transformational. Lord, I pray for her joy. Restore the joy that was stolen. Restore the laughter that was silenced. Restore the freedom that was lost. Restore the woman she was before the pain tried to destroy her. Bring her back to life, not survival, life, abundant life, overflowing life, joyful life. And Father, I declare over her tonight, the night season is over. The weeping has endured for a night, but joy is coming in the morning, and her morning starts now, right now, in this moment. The sun is rising over her life. The darkness is lifting. The tears are being replaced with laughter. The morning is being replaced with dancing. The heaviness is being replaced with praise. She will not cry alone anymore. She will not carry alone anymore. She will not suffer in silence anymore, because you are with her, you see her, you love her, and you are about to do something in her life that will make every tear worth it. In Jesus' mighty name, amen. To every strong woman who cries alone at night, God sees you. He has always seen you, and he is not asking you to be stronger. He is asking you to let him be strong for you. You have carried enough. You have endured enough. You have performed enough. It is time to rest. It is time to be held. It is time to be seen. It is time to be loved, not for what you do, but for who you are. You are not just a strong woman. You are a daughter of the Most High God. And your Father is saying tonight, come to me. Lay it down. All of it. Every burden, every tear, every fear, every weight. Lay it down and let me carry you for a while. You have carried everyone else long enough. It is my turn to carry you. Psalm 55:22 says, cast thy burden upon the Lord, and he shall sustain thee. He shall never suffer the righteous to be moved. Cast it tonight, all of it, and watch God sustain you in ways no human being ever could. You are seen, you are known, you are loved, you are held, and you will never cry alone again. Amen.